Washington at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not going to the top, who's the sport?
And it's Hakim Ziyech who puts the Atlas.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeat, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
My name is Tao Familoni, and here's to VOP TV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
My name is Made Kuti, and you're watching VOP TV. Keep watching.
Welcome, my name is Zika Davis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys, viewers, everybody, boys and girls. This is VOP TV. Do you know what that means? Voice of the People TV. You don't have a voice, don't come here. You better make sure your voice is heard.
Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us.
When I first heard VOP, I thought they were talking about me because I'm a voice-over personality. But no, this is Voice of the People TV, and you are riveted forever because this is the place to be.
Yo guys, your boy Chella. Shout out to VOP TV. I love you guys.
Salut tout le monde, Suspect 95. Là, on est sur VOP TV. On passe un bon temps. J'espère que vous kiffez. On est au Afrima. On est ensemble. VOP TV.
Don't see me like a fool because I don't do giddy giddy giddy. VOP, you don't know Stoneware from Ghana representing live and living color. Yeah, Beam Nation President. Outside with it. Bless up.
Hello, this is Milo from Ivory Coast. Keep watch Voice of the People TV. Regardez la voix du peuple, la télévision de la voix du peuple. Que Dieu vous bénisse. À très bientôt. Love you so much.
Hi guys, what's up? This is Gaze Baba. I am watching VOP TV. Usually you be told to not touch the dial, but I tell you to touch the dial and increase the volume. You're like, keep it locked. It's Afro Gospel. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Shego Aronzo. You're watching VOP. Don't change the dial.
My Joe, fine girl. My Joe, fine babe. Only are you, but on the Fuji Monsoon. Yes, don't touch the dial. This is me, Dr. Adiwala Iba. Keep watching VOP TV.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs the voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I. From social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe. Hunger no get religion.
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television. Don't just react, understand. Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I. From social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count. It's awards. The razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
In a world where power shifts its every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not speed. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
Welcome, guys. The show is Hashtags right here on VOP TV. My name is Vivian Oguche, and it's such a pleasure to have you hang out with us. I say us because it's not a one-man affair. Got lots of people on this team trying to ensure that everything goes flawlessly. So welcome aboard. And if this is your first time, accept a very warm welcome from us. If I've not said it yet, my name is Vivian Oguche. So if you're game, let's get this show on the road. You remember how last week we broke the news here that the federal government, the DHQ, the Defense Headquarters, had finally admitted that there was an attempt at a regime change towards the end of 2025, even though the authorities had come out to deny that report initially. Now, there is an update to that particular story. Stanley Amandi, he is very popular. He's a Nollywood actor. He has been fingered as one of those who plotted, who allegedly attempted to overthrow President Tinubu's government. That news is all over. The AGN, the Actors Guild of Nigeria, the association, they've also affirmed this particular report, saying that it was since September last year that the authorities arrested Stanley. Now, that has generated a lot of reactions online. Trending Explained has a meatier version of this story. So let me take you online so you take a look at it. Shall we? Let's do it. So Trending Explained says, Nollywood is trending because veteran actor Stanley Amandi is among the military coup plotters. As exclusively reported by Premium Times, and Igbos are asking, from where to where? Let me give a little bit of context before we continue. So Premium Times is an elite publisher, and of course it was one of the very two publications that broke the news last year that there was an attempt at a regime change, even when the authorities had denied it. Now, Premium Times is continuing to unveil this particular story. So Trending Explained goes on to say, Amandi was hired to be the propagandist by the coupists, meaning the filmmaker was brought to influence public opinion in favor of the coup and its plotters, planning to kill President Tinubu, Shetima, Godswill Akpabio, and Tajuddin Abbas. Trending Explained goes on to say, despite the presidency's initial denial on March 26 January, the military confirmed a coup was attempted last September. Amandi was arrested on the 19th of September along with 35 mostly northern officers and one police officer. The soldiers will be tried in military court, while Amandi and other civilians will be tried in civil courts. Let's take a look at the next page. And so Trending Explained goes on to say, however, his involvement is suspected to be an implication attempt, so investigations are still ongoing. Do you understand what they're saying? You should wrap your head around that particular paragraph. It's worth taking a second read. However, Trending Explained says his involvement is suspected to be an implication attempt, so investigations are still ongoing. And then it goes on to say, Igbos are saying it's just a desperate propaganda to make sure at least one Igbo person was involved in the coup. And with Amadi's name, Southeast finally got a representative for Enugu. Trending Explained goes on to say, as the coup plotters were reportedly from Katsina, Kaduna, Osun, Bayelsa, Plateau, Kano, Gombe, Bauchi, Kebbi, Jigawa, Zamfara, Taraba, Yobe, Kogi, Sokoto, and Adamawa. Others compared it to Emeka the Onisha screwdriver seller spy, but patriotic Nigerians insist the retired 70-year-old actor was hired to run PR for the coup. There's the concluding part of the post with a picture of the actor. Let's take a look at it now. And Trending Explained continues by saying the coup was swatted in September 2025 when an insider soldier reported to the then Chief of Army Staff, Olufemi Oluyede, over fears of implication and treason if it failed. And that's a picture of the actor. Number of reactions, respondents are reacting. Let's take a look at how netizens are taking this particular news. Well, before that, the Vanguard also is corroborating the story. And it says, Nollywood actor and director Stanley Amandi has been taken into custody alongside several military officers accused of planning a forceful overthrow of President Bola Tinubu's government. According to a source in the Actors Guild of Nigeria, AGN, Amandi, who is also the former chairman of the AGN, Enugu State Chapter, was arrested in September 2025. That is the Vanguard lending credence to what Premium Times as well as Trending Explained have said. This news broke today. Netizens are reacting. Gracefully Gracious Chinedu says, this one does not give me mouth to talk. More reactions, please. Sebastian Charles says, why is it that it is only him they are dragging up and down? Mr. Ola says, I can tell you for free that they just want to implicate the man so as to have an Igbo man in the mix. Nigeria has an Igbo problem. It's what Mr. Ola is saying. Omniprecious says, una just the act film for this country. But some are also saying, are civilians involved in coup plots? It's the questions some netizens are asking. Let's continue to take a look at the reactions now. On the next one. So Success Chinedu says, no civilian anywhere in the world can plan a coup aside the military. Disregard any misinformed propaganda. Take a look at when this one dropped 49 minutes ago. So this is fresh and people are just reacting to it. And this is Ola99 Olamide, who says, only his name made it into the news. That should tell you all you need to know. Are you following the trajectory? Netizens are saying, why is it only Stanley Amandi's name that has been named so far? And then Virtual Assistant says, did he do it on his social media pages or through WhatsApp or email or calls or word of mouth? How did he influence a public opinion in favor of the coup? Is what Virtual Assistant is asking. Now, this story is unfolding, right? As it continues to unfold, we will keep you posted. Another unfolding story is #Rivers, right? It's all about Nyesom Wike and his erstwhile godson, the sitting governor. Wike said he went to inaugurate the Renewed Hope Ambassadors. You know, it's an initiative, right? The Renewed Hope Ambassadors bested in Anambra not too long ago. It's in Rivers State now. But Nyesom Wike and his allies are crying foul that the governor refused to give them a very large venue, a particular stadium that they asked for. And so they had to crowd themselves into a smaller venue, and they're crying foul. But a number of people are also saying, look, think twice before you say stuff. So I am not going to sermonize. I'm just going to take you to X, a number of videos, and then there are reactions. But first, let's take a look at the post that's going to lead us to the first video. #Rivers State. Let's take a look. This is Nigerian Affairs Journal, and it says, Governor Fubara denied us the use of the stadium for the inauguration of the Renewed Hope Ambassadors in Rivers State. This is coming from the Rivers State Renewed Hope Ambassadors Coordinator, Desmond Akawo, and he apologizes over the mammoth crowd congestion at the Captain Elechi Amadi Polytechnic. And then Nigerian Affairs Journal is giving us context here. On November 25, 2025, President Tinubu established the Renewed Hope Ambassadors, RHA, a grassroots mobilization group designed to promote his re-election bid in 2027. It's just like the City Boys one. That one is manned by Seyi Tinubu. But this one is the Renewed Hope Ambassador. So Let's take a look at the video.
Of that, Your Excellency, I would want to really apologize to our people for the mammoth crowd and the way we have displeased them. Very uncomfortable environment. We had actually planned for the stadium, but the governor of the state denied us that stadium. But we are here today. Your Excellency, we want to thank you. You have made Rivers people proud. You can see them in their numbers. When people talk about renewed hope, what is renewed hope? We had a point in time when the country, there was hopelessness and we are in disrepair. We had a situation where we called a Nephilis regime. We had a situation where nobody wants to relate to Nigeria. Our currency was oscillating and the filling stations were down. Nobody was ready to believe in us, no investor. A man, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, took the plunge and said, I will go for this job. And a man who got himself prepared, he said he's prepared for the job. And immediately he came on board, said, this job is not for ice cream sellers, that this job is for those who are prepared. And immediately he set the ball rolling. And he was able.
Gosh, a number of things there. Did you catch the part where the FCT minister seated there was, tapping his wristwatch? I think he was telling the speaker that, hey, your time is up. That brings to mind something else that happened in the southwestern part of the country between the First Lady, Remi Tinubu, and the Osun State Governor, but that was a totally different one. It didn't happen like this. Now, the speaker, the coordinator of the Renewed Hope ambassadors in Rivers State also said something that President Tinubu decided to come on board because he felt this wasn't a job for ice cream sellers. Something tells me that that was a jab at former Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who also campaigned, on the platform of the APC. He wanted to be the president, after his principal, PM, the late President Muhammadu Buhari. And during the APC primaries, the presidential primaries, we heard and we saw that the vice president was sharing ice cream. He's a tush man, right? Hey, I love ice cream. I don't know. So that was a jab at him, I think. But then again, there's another post I'd like for you to take a look at that's going to launch us to the next video. You're going to be hearing from the FCT minister in a short while, who is threatening fire. He's saying, look, if you don't give me space, we are going to take this place by force. Let's take a look at that next post now. Still Nigerian Journal Affairs. Shall we? Let's do it. Nigerian Affairs Journal, I beg your pardon, says, we applied to the Rivers State government to use the General Gowon Yakubu Stadium and they refused us. Next time we apply and they don't approve it, we will break it by force. So the Renewed Hope Ambassadors Coordinator, write again to the state government and choose a day for us to inaugurate the ward level. Nobody can deny us the facilities of Rivers State. If you don't agree to give us, we will do the needful and take it by force. Heaven won't fall. And if heaven falls, there will be peace. Wow. And that is the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike blowing hot. Take a listen, guys.
We apply to the state government for the General Gowon Yakubu Stadium. They refused us. But let me say, next time we will do this. If you don't approve it, we will break it by force. Morale, nobody got the moral like we go. Morale, nobody got the moral. I say moral. Yeah, nobody got the moral like we. Yeah, morale, nobody got the moral. So, the coordinator of the state, write again to the state government. Choose a day, we inaugurate the world level. I want to say to everybody to hear, enough is enough. We are all from River State. Nobody can deny us the facilities of the state. If you don't agree to give us, we will do the useful and we'll take it by force. Heaven will never fall. Even when heaven falls, everywhere will be at peace. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And God bless you.
If they don't like you, somebody will like you.
Do you guys catch Larry Olayinka, the FCT minister spokesperson there, doing his job? But hey, that's just an aside. I just wanted to point that out. Now, how is it even possible that President Tinubu, who is the leader of the APC in Nigeria, is being campaigned for in Rivers State, and Nyesom Wike, who is a member of the PDP, factional PDP, is the one campaigning for the president in Rivers State, and then the APC person, the number one person, talking about the APC, talking about the governor, is not even in the mix. I don't even understand it. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. But hey, that's how it's playing out. And some people are saying that Rivers politics should actually be studied in the universities. And I agree. So let's go back online now so you see how netizens are responding to this particular hashtag, Rivers. Let's do it. So Ibezim says, who supports lead this program, Wike of PDP or Governor Sim Fubara of APC? Abdul Chibuzo Okwe says, what is going on in Rivers now? I don't understand their pattern of politics at all. This kind setup or more. Akin says, I don't know where stadium turned into a campaign ground. The next one, let's take a look at the next one. So Sime Favorite says, but how true is this? When was the last time that stadium was used? More reactions. Let's say, follow what's happening now. So this is Emeka Ike Ume, and he says this is the current state of the ongoing reconstruction of the Yakubu Gowon Stadium. Yet Wike and Desmond are reportedly planning to force their way into the facility. He put up a video, but he took that video from Port Harcourt Socialite. So let me take you to the next post, and then we'll take a look at the video that Emeka Ike Ume is saying. Right, so this is Jamal of Port Harcourt, yeah. And he says this is the current state of the ongoing reconstruction, right, of the Yakubu Gowon Stadium, Eleka here. Yet, Wike and Desmond are reportedly planning to force their way into the facility. Should a governor release a venue in this condition for public use? Irrespective of our political beliefs, we are first and foremost Rivers people, and it is the constitutional responsibility of the governor to protect lives and property. He put up this video. Take a look. According to Jamal of Port Harcourt, this is the state of this stadium that the FCT minister is requesting for. You'd be the judge. Should this be given out to the public like Jamal and Emeka Ume are asking? Really, should it? Well, we hold our pace. As this particular story unfolds, we will keep you posted. Can we now go on to the next hashtag, which is sort of related because of the common denominator? I'm talking about the same man, Nyesom Wike. He is the FCT minister, and he's trending right now because he said, if you now release monies to pay FCT workers and striking workers, to pay all of their salaries and arrears and take care of their welfare packages, that where will there be money to carry out constructions and all of that? And netizens are scratching their heads and like, what? Did you just say that? A number of people are also saying, look, this man, give it to him when it comes to development. He's done it well. But hey, compare him to former governor of Kaduna State, former FCT minister Nasir El-Rufai, who has done the most. But that's an aside. Let me take you to the X now. So you see the first post, And then there's a video in the middle of it all. But first, let's take a look at the post. So this is Instablog Niger, and they're quoting the FCT minister. If we spend everything on salaries, there will be nothing left to develop the FCT. FCT minister, Nyesom Wike. And then it go on to say that, Instablog Niger goes on to say, FCT minister Nyesom Wike has said that government cannot spend all available revenue on salaries and allowances and still meet its development responsibilities. According to him, quote, nobody can just bring out the whole money and pay allowances and wages, asking rhetorically how the government would buy vehicles, construct roads, and run schools. End of quote. If all funds were exhausted on recurrent spending. Wike explained that access to funds was previously difficult, with projects delayed by lengthy approval processes, noting that criticism of past ministers often ignored these constraints. He disclosed that the FCT's internally generated revenue has grown from about 9 billion naira monthly to nothing less than 30 billion naira every month, describing the increase as performance. There's another page. Let's take a look at it. And then Instablog Niger goes on to say, he added that from the current revenue, about 2 billion naira is spent on salaries, while over 12 billion naira is committed to infrastructure development. The minister urged collective responsibility, stressing that the future of this country is on all of us, while affirming that the president is doing the best he can. The next post now, because netizens are reacting to this particular one. Call Me MBJ says, raising IGR from 9 billion to 30 billion monthly makes good headlines. Spending only 2 billion on salaries while over 12 billion goes to development shows clear priorities. Workers are not asking for the full budget. They want 5 months of wage award arrears cleared. They want promotion arrears paid. They want pension and NHF deductions remitted. They want hazard allowances settled. These are entitlements. You approved 12 billion for January salaries after a court order. Aides still say no salary is owed. They ignore the real issues. If allocation sits near 1% and IGR keeps rising, why do strikes, protests, and court cases continue under your watch? Workers build Abuja too. Pay them properly first. Roads mean little when services fail. This is economy. Do better, Honorable Minister. And you do realize that there was, most of last week, the workers, FCT workers, were striking over unpaid emoluments. Now, there are more reactions. Let's continue to take a look at them now. Bankole says, if you now refuse to give them enough salary, how will they be able to send their children to King's College in London? Or is it only your kind that Nigeria's treasures are meant to take your children abroad? So you remember that Nyesom Wike's son just graduated from an elite college in London. Jay Itaju continues to say, Wike says government can't spend all revenue on salaries and still do development. But his convoys alone can fund a small local government area. His kids, they school abroad, spending anyhow. So now workers must always sacrifice. This is not governance, it is wickedness. Hashtag obedience movement, hashtag new Nigeria is possible. There's another reaction I'd like for you to take a look at. So this is our Fave Online doc who says, how would we buy vehicles and construct roads if we use all of the money to pay wages? We can't do that, Wiki. And then our Fave Online doc laughs out loud and goes on to say, so people should not be paid for the work they've done so that politicians can buy cars. Nigerian politicians, he said, are demonic parasites. Gosh, that's tough. But then he put up this video. Take a listen.
How will we buy these vehicles? How will we construct the roads? How will we rehabilitate the schools? And this were in GSA, and it was difficult for us to access funds. What was happening was just approvals, buying of computers, the whole money will finish. And yet you say, when this minister was there, He couldn't do anything. How would he do something? He would go and print money. When I came, this FCT idea was 9 billion naira. 9 billion a month. Today, by the grace of God, we have hit not less than 30 billion naira every month. Now, what is called performance? What is called performance? So if we have 30 billion, and then we move 2 billion naira, document for salary, and then it's okay, remove another 12 billion naira for infrastructure, and then the remaining one, you have to run the moment you see 5 billion naira in the account, you remember that something that was not paid in 2015, it is not that they will pay it. That is not the way. That is not the way it's supposed to be. So I appeal to you that the future of this country is none of us. Because our president is doing the best he can do. But you can also support by being progressive minded.
Calling on residents of the FCT as well as striking workers to be progressive minded. It sounds good, yeah? But then the pendulum swings both ways, right? All parties involved must be happy. There must be a win-win situation for all parties involved, which is the trajectory that most of the responses are taking at the moment. So as this one unfolds, we will keep you posted. Recall that there have been court orders, staying the protests. In the meantime, asking the FCT workers not to proceed with the strike action, even though they are saying no, we will continue until we are sorted. So like I said, until, as long as this thing unfolds or as long as it continues, we'll continue to follow the story and we'll keep you posted. The next story is an update to something we've been following or someone we've been following. It is hashtag Abia. So you know how the national grid has been collapsing and collapsing and collapsing. In fact, in 2025, it collapsed so many times we lost count. And in 2026, again, it has become a recurrent issue. But the governor of Abia State, Alex Oti, is saying that, look, even while other Nigerians were crying foul, crying wolf because of the collapse of the national grid, that Abia was not affected because they cashed in on biogas, biofuel, and some netizens are impressed. So let's go online now. So Chuk says, I'm sure you're aware of the recent power outage, but Abia State was not affected. This shows that we are making real progress. All the organic waste we are disposing of will be converted into energy to power many places. Governor Alex Oti addressing Abians. This was late yesterday night. Take a listen, guys.
Into clean energy and provide Abia with renewable energy from biogas. So, and this is a pilot program. So we want, instead of the waste, organic waste that we are disposing, we can turn them with this technology into energy, clean energy, and we'll be able to power a whole lot more places, particularly in the Omuahia ring fence. Talking about the Omuahia ring fence, I had reported earlier that our offer to EEDC had been accepted, and we are in the process of raising the funds to pay off EEDC. On the 24th of December, the Abia State Electricity Regulation Authority took over from the National Electricity Regulation Authority. The regulation, so everything about distribution, generation, and transmission are going to be regulated within the state. And the whole idea is to ensure energy sufficiency and independence in the state. Just like the Aba power provides power for the Aba ring fence. I'm sure you would have been aware that some of the disasters that happened recently, that our state was not affected because a whole part of our power asset is within our authority. And that is the whole idea about acquiring the Omuahia ring fence. I'm happy that we're making a lot of progress in that area. Now, on health.
And that is His Excellency Alex Otti, the Governor of Abia State, addressing issues of power supply. And there are netizens responding to, his statement and all he said. Let's continue to take a look at the reactions, or as we continue to take a look at this hashtag. Jezebel Reborn says, God, I have been thinking and saying it. Biogas, and you will unlock wealth for the state. And Jezebel Reborn applauds the governor. She goes on to say that a state-owned biogas plant will generate electricity and cooking gas from waste, reduce pollution, create jobs, support agriculture, and improve energy security while cutting reliance on diesel from the moment it is established. More reactions? Oluwatobi Bamidele says Nigerian politicians are still using lack of electricity to score cheap points in 2026, when other countries already have 24 hours power supply. Well, more reactions? Omoigbo says Governor Otti was ready before taking this job. I wish Uche Oga takes over from him after his 8-year tenure. If that happens, Abia State will be on another level, right? So it mostly rave reviews, except for some dissenting voices that are saying, look, this is what you should do. I mean, it shouldn't score you points and all. But hey, it is big deal. I mean, someone has said that Nigerians do not even ask for much. Just give them steady electricity supply, give them water, give them food, and they're happy. You wouldn't even hear pim from them. So, hey, it's big deal, and we congratulate the state and, of course, the governor on this major feat, is what I'll call it. We move on now to the next one, which is hashtag Anambra. This is also a follow-up to a story we've been following. You know how it has been Governor Soludo versus traders, how there was a Monday sit-at-home, and traders did not go to trade on Monday in the Onitsha main market. And that made the governor mad, really angry. And he shut down the market for 1 week and said, if you continue to do that sit at home, I will shut it down for 1 month. If you continue, I will shut it down indefinitely. Just even Kukuma demolish it is what he was threatening at some point. But it looks like they've come to a round table, even though some people online are disputing it. But we'll bring you all the facts we have. It was late yesterday night that the governor and traders came together and they made headway. So I take you online now so you see that particular post and then the reactions and how some other publications are lending credence to this particular story. It is hashtag Anambra. So Nigeria Story says, breaking news, traders at the Onitsha main market and other markets across the state have pledged to effectively end the Monday sit at home and have declared readiness to resume full activities on Monday in line with the directive of the state governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo. Let's take a look at the reactions now. Lorenzo Joseph says they came to the hall to agree to this. Those are not Igbo traders. That I know. They will never assemble like this. You actually go to their shops to meet them. Igbo man leave shop, come meeting. How? That's coming from Lorenzo Joseph. More reactions? Let's kind of take a look at them now. So Senator Idris Haruna says it's concerning that normal business operations in Onitsha and other markets were disrupted for so long, but forcing traders and workers to resume activities isn't progress. True progress would require addressing the root cause of the sit-at-home, ensuring consistent security, and creating conditions where economic activities can continue without such interruptions. Directives alone cannot substitute for real solutions. Ozigbo Emmanuel says this news is false, except it's market union that pledged that. Come to the whole of the streets. Nobody cares of whatever Soludo thinks. Anambra is bigger than Soludo. Ella says he didn't speak with the real guys protesting in the market. When Monday reach, we'll go know. More reactions? Now, this is the Punch newspaper, and the Punch reported, see, take a look at the time this news dropped. It was 8:28 p.m. yesterday, and the Punch is lending credence to what Nigeria Stories has just reported, that Onitsha traders vow end to sit at home, resume Monday. So, what's the right thing to do? Since some people are disputing this fact, is to keep our fingers crossed and patiently wait till Monday to see if this actually pans out the way journalists and reporters are reporting it. And I'm sure Governor Soludo is also going to be talking, because he's been very active on X regarding this particular matter. And that is how we wrap up this particular hashtag, which we have been following from the word go. And that's our tradition here. We break news, we continue to the logical conclusion. Now, the next hashtag is hashtag Anthony Joshua. It is another story we broke here. And of course, we've been following, the very popular boxer, heavyweight champ, who tragically lost both of his friends in Nigeria just towards the end of 2025. It was very tragic. It was Anthony Joshua narrowly escaped death. And do you know that he exchanged seats with one of the persons that died? Two of them died in that crash. Anthony had, just shortly after he exchanged his seat, was when this crash happened. And the person that took his, former position died. So for the very first time, Anthony is coming out to address the press. And he's thanking everybody because he's saying so much love have been poured in, and he appreciates it. He also talks about going to meet his friends in the future. So he said he's no longer scared of dying because he knows he's got two people waiting for him. Let me not talk too much. I would like for you to take a look at the post and then for you to listen to the champ himself. This is Trending Explained. And he says, Anthony Joshua is trending because the boxer got emotional as he addressed the public for the first time since a tragic accident in Nigeria. Quote, "It's tough. It's really tough. It's not easy. I miss them. One day my time will come and I'm no longer scared. I've got two people on the other side. I know what they wanted to do for their families. I will do it for them. It's not about a legacy. It's about what's right. We grew up together and now it's not easy. I miss them. I lost two great men. I speak for both lads and sinners' families. When I say we appreciate the love and prayers, what more can I say? Thank you, Anthony Joshua." AJ, and Trending Explained goes on to say, AJ extended the thanks to Aliko Dangote, Femi Otedola for providing logistics support to get him smoothly back to the UK. Take a listen, guys.
So, I'm here. One, I trust you all well. I hope you're well. So, I'm here in front of a camera. Unfortunately, I'm not speaking to all of you people live. If you know my character, I would much prefer to do that, but there's what I want and then there's reality. So this is the best way I could reach out to all of you far and wide, worldwide, who are showing so much love, care, support through that tragic, traumatic time where we lost Latson Sina in Nigeria. Look, the last time I spoke to you guys was in Miami. You know, we had so many plans to wrap up 2025 and we were on a mission. We were on a mission. We went back home, went to see our families, and everything just got flipped upside on its head. And yeah, it's God's the best planner. We can't plan. We can plan to the best of our capabilities, but you know, that was such an unforeseen circumstance that was out of all of our control. And not only did I'm not even want to talk about myself, not only did their parents, their uncles, their cousins, their friends, and myself lose like two great men. We lost people that we dearly care about, and have been like major players in all of our lives, major players in all of our lives. It's tough, it's really tough. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and show all of my emotions. I know in today's day and age, it's easy to microanalyze people and, you know, pass judgment, but, you know, I know what I feel, and that's what that matters to me. I know what my duty is. You know, they're my brothers, they're my friends, first and foremost. And then we became business partners, we became hustlers, we became lieutenants, we became generals, we became everything. We became housemates, we were living together. Do you know what I mean? It's a shame. It's a shame. But so there's that side of things, and then what can I say? One day my time will come, and I'm not scared either at all. It's actually comforting knowing I've got two brothers on the other side. You know, I've lost people before.
That's Anthony being very emotional, and you know, you heard him saying, "One day my time will come," and he was saying that he's no longer scared of dying because he's got two brothers waiting for him. It's a very emotional thing, and then he went on to say that he's going to continue with what Laz and Sina have carried on, their projects. He didn't want to call it a legacy. He said it's just the right thing to do, and that it's not going to be him alone. Him alongside a brotherhood are going to ensure that the projects that were very dear to Laz and Sina will continue and not die. Netizens are responding to this particular hashtag. Some are saying it's resonating, you know, with something really deep in them. Let's take a look at the reactions. So let's take a look at the reactions. So Jimmy says, I can relate. Jimmy is saying that he lost a great friend last year, and that he still cries if he remembers their great moment together, and that it scares him more that they won't have the opportunity to create more memories. And then he says, may God rest their soul and comfort Anthony Joshua. Chelsea Dreamer says, not the street boys that attended to him first before the supposed first responders. I don't even know what Chelsea Dreamer is talking about, but hey, Mike says, bro, I am really sorry for your monumental loss. It's not easy. Special Duty says, tough to lose close friends like that. It is tough indeed, and I'm glad that Anthony Joshua is surrounded by people who love him, and that he's beginning to, you know, take this very tragic event in his strides. We move on now to another breaking news today. The BBC broke. Yeah, it's about Fela. Let me just take you to the BBC so you take a look at this particular post. Fela is being awarded internationally, right? Let's go on X. Let's go. Let's do it. It is hashtag Fela. BBC News says, music legend Fela Kuti becomes first African to get Grammy's Lifetime Achievement Award. That's big deal, yeah? It's coming on the heels of this war between Fela's son, Seun Kuti, and of course, Wizkid, a very popular singer, legendary, some people describe him. I remember Yeni Kuti, one of Fela's elderly children, came out to say not too long ago that he likes Wizkid, that she loves his music, and that she does not even understand why there's this back and forth between her brother, Seun, and Wizkid, and she just asked the two of them to sheath their swords and ensure that peace reigns. Now, this has happened. Netizens are referring to that incident again. But first, the BBC is giving us a myth to it. Let's take a look at the next post. It was flashed. Yes. Credit goes to the BBC for this one. BBC World says, long crowned by his legion of fans as the king of Afrobeat, the late Fela Kuti is finally being recognized by the global music industry. The Nigerian star will posthumously receive a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Grammys, almost 3 decades after his death at the age of 58. Quote, Fela has been in the hearts of the people for such a long time now. Now the Grammys have acknowledged it, and it's a double victory, his musician son, Seun Kuti, tells the BBC. And then, quote again, it brings balance to a Fela story, end of quote. That is Seun adding to that. And then it goes on to say that a long-time friend and manager of the late musician says the recognition by the Grammy is better than never. And then it says Africa hasn't in the past rated very highly in their interests. I think that's changing quite a bit of late. And then it goes on to say, following the global success of Afrobeats, a genre inspired by Fela's sound, the Grammys introduced a category of Best African Performance in 2024. This year, Nigerian superstar Burna Boy also has a nomination in the Best Global Music Album category. Quickly, we'll take a look at a couple of responses to this particular one. Madu said, and he didn't win it when he was alive. He released 50+ albums and none was nominated for Una Grammy. And then he says, okay, well, he goes on to say what he says. Ola United says, all thanks to Big Wiz. And that is how we wrap it up on that particular hashtag and on this show today. Thanks to everyone who contributed to making the show a success. Bigger thanks goes to you guys for watching. Well, if you liked it, keep a date again with us for another edition of Hashtags. Same time, same station next week. Until then, I am Vivian Oguche, and bye for now.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264